Alright, today we're going to be ramping up Sentry, but we should also be ramping up my channel because every 1k subs in January equals 1 Dazzler Pass for a February giveaway. So join the New Year's party, and thank you very much once again for 15k subs. That is just unreal. But now we have the video that has been requested the most over the past few days: how to ramp up Sentry in Necropolis. So this is a quick little video. I mean, it's not quick, but it's a video telling you like everything you have to know when it comes to ramping up Sentry. So this is like just starting from nothing, right? And as you can see, at 20 bulwark buffs, I dropped the SP1, and that brings me into my next form. So how Sentry works is, here is how Sentry works. Sentry has 3 forms. Whenever you hit 20 charges with a form, you enter the next form. To get 20 charges, you have to drop special attacks and convert your buffs into charges. You gain 1 bulwark buff every time you dex or inflict a debuff, and that includes parry. So yeah, once you like have your 20 charges, you will then enter the next form, like I said, and you can drop a special attack to enter that next form, since those special attacks are the ones that convert the buffs into the charges. So basically, you want to build up to 20 bulwarks, drop your special attack, and that will bring you into the next form. Now, going from the heavy attack form to the base form will give you 1 persistent charge, and this stacks up to 10. So that's how you ramp up Sentry essentially. You just want to build up your buffs, drop your SP1 while you have 20 bulwark charges, and then you'll go into the next form, and once you repeat this and you get into the base form from the heavy attack form, you will gain a persistent charge. Now here's the thing, you are allowed to drop the special attack while you have under 20 bulwarks, or just like under 20 like buffs in general, because when you do that, you gain charges for the form. Now, the next time you drop a special attack, if the number of bulwark buffs on you and the number of charges that you have combine into a number that's greater than 20, you will enter the next form. So that's pretty much how Sentry works. It's all about building up to 20 charges in the form and entering your next form afterwards, and doing this cycle and going from the heavy attack form to the base form will give you 1 persistent charge. You rinse and repeat this until you have 10, and that's it. That's ramp Sentry. But now we go into the second part, which is how do you get the bulwark buffs to enter the next form. So it all depends on the current form you're in. If you're in the base form, which is the gray icon, you can do any attack to gain charges, because any attack inflicts an exhaustion debuff onto the opponent. So this is the easiest form. There is no like direct play style for it. You can just play however you want in this form. The next form is the absolute strength form, which is a yellow icon, and in this form, doing a light or medium attack will grant you a wither debuff on the opponent, so that will grant you a bulwark buff. Additionally, keep in mind that throughout all the forms, inflicting any debuff or dexing any attack will give you a bulwark buff. So you can dex the SP1 here versus Sauron, that'll give you a bulwark buff. You can parry Sauron, that's a bulwark buff. You can do the striker to get the physical vulnerability, that's a bulwark buff. But to gain extra bulwarks, you have to do what the form is asking. Now for this form, the heavy attack form, doing a heavy attack will grant you bulwark buffs, right? Because the heavy attack does inflict energy vulnerabilities. So that's pretty much all you have to know. It really isn't as complicated as I made it, so I do apologize for that. It's just literally follow the icons and just do what it's telling you to do. Like that says enhance medium and light attacks, just drop medium and light attacks and then you're good, right? If you want to, once you're like past 3 charges, doing a heavy attack refreshes all debuffs, so if you want to keep up your damage output, you can do that. But then again, your damage output really skyrockets like in the 6+ area, so these first 3 or 4 charges, it doesn't really matter too much, but it's there if you want it, basically. But yeah, here I go for some heavy attacks because it is a heavy attack phase, and that's, you know, that's just that, right? It's very easy to like remember what to do, and just if you need some help, base icon is the gray icon, do whatever you want. Yellow icon is the medium and light attack icon, do that, just do only mediums and lights. Heavy attack icon is the red one, just only do heavy attacks. And once you understand that, once you like really get it into your head, then yeah, you are going to be absolutely chilling, because that's like pretty much the important thing to remember, because those things give you the charges, the bulwark buffs to like enter the new forms, and entering new forms and repeating that cycle gives you the persistent charges, and that's how you ramp up Sentry as quickly as possible. Now here's the real question: how many charges can I get in this first fight? Well, we're at 4 right now, right? We're about to enter the next phase, which is the heavy attack phase, but notice how I didn't have enough to enter the next form because I dropped the SP1 at 18 charges. But then I go back in, and since 18 plus 4 is 22, and that's more than 20, I enter the next form. So yeah, if you like drop a special attack early, do not worry, just drop another special attack and make sure that the number of bulwark buffs that you're converting plus the number of current form charges is equal to or greater than 20, and then you'll enter the next form. And yeah, like that's pretty much, that's it. Like that's no worries if like you mess up and do the special attack too early. Just like one more special attack will bring you right into the next form. So yeah, it's very straightforward to ramp this guy. I'm only making it complicated because I have to talk a lot in this video because it's a 15-minute video. Like I don't have to talk a lot, but I just want to make sure that y'all can understand, like, you know, as well as possible. But yeah, now we're in the phase where like Sauron roots you after every special attack, and if you want to be a bit tricky in this fight, you can actually go for some very cheeky heavy attacks while he's like up against the corner. Is it like recommended? Maybe not, but it's still kind of cheeky, and it also lets you keep your damage output, so it'll make this Sauron fight even faster. But yeah, now the question, like I said earlier, is how many charges can you get on this first fight? And the answer might surprise you, because yeah, this Sauron fight, keep in mind, it's Necropolis. He has 8 million health. You can do a lot of damage in that, like, you know, 8 million health span, but you can also ramp a lot of champions in that 8 million health span. So yeah, Sentry is going to get ramped up a lot in this fight. Now we're at what, 6 charges, so we're making pretty good progress. Here he drops the SP1. I drop the heavy attack right afterwards because whenever you are rooted, you hardly lose distance from Sauron. So like that's the important thing to know. Whenever you're rooted, you can pretty much like do a heavy attack right after, but you have to do a light attack first in some scenarios, which is okay. But yeah, if you want to play it safe and just don't go for a heavy attack, I completely understand, and it doesn't even affect the charge gain, it just affects the damage output of Sentry in this first fight, which honestly I don't even know if you want to do too much damage in this first fight, because in this fight you're supposed to ramp up to 10. So yeah, like not like this fight right here, but just like Sauron in general, you want to ramp up to 10 with him. So yeah, like that's really it. There I dropped the SP1, I'm back into the heavy attack phase, and now we're at charge number 6, like I said, but we're about to be into charge number 7 territory, which is crazy, right? Because like that's more than half his ramp in this one single fight. And like at 7 charges plus, you just start doing insane stuff. So yeah, it's really, really cool. Here he drops the SP1, no big deal. I drop the relic into the SP1 myself, and now we're at charge number 7. And we're running out of charges for like the Necropolis timer, but that's okay because I can just try to speedrun this. But let's see how it goes. Remember that Dexing gives you a bulwark buff to get an extra charge, so we can just use the SP1 Dex to get some more charges quickly, and that just went perfectly. But yeah, we gotta hurry up. I gotta drop this special attack ASAP, and then he has to drop the special attack. It'll just be such a time saver, but he just doesn't. There, he just isn't playing ball, man. He is just not dropping that SP1. And we cannot beat out the SP2 because I cannot dex that to save my life, especially when rooted. It's even more annoying that way. But yeah, here I dropped the SP1. Wasn't enough charges, so that does waste a lot of time building up to the SP1 again. That was a massive error on my behalf, but it's okay because the next special attack will for sure put us into that next phase. And now it's the heavy attack phase. Now I gotta hurry up because he is, you know, almost at the unblockable state. And yeah, this is gonna be down to the wire. And there he's finally in it, but I still am alive. So I'm gonna try my best to get into the into the final phase to get that 8th charge. And here I'm able to do it just about. And there we go, 8 charges in that one fight. Now remember, whenever you lose a fight, you go down 1 charge. So it's ideal to get that 8th charge in that first fight because then you'll drop to 7 and 7 is still a very good place to start for the second Sauron fight, because that gives you the medium attack stun charge. So what that does is, whenever you drop a medium attack, you can do a heavy attack right afterwards, and it'll stun Sauron, which is really helpful for like maintaining your debuffs. But yeah, this fight is going to be a whole lot faster than the other one for sure. Like the other one was the ramp up fight, right? Like that was gonna of course be long. If you thought it was gonna be a short one, that's just like really silly, because you know he starts with 0 charges, but in that one single fight we got up to 8 persistent charges. And in this fight here, we just have to get 3 more charges, and we have 50% health to do that with. So you will pretty much guaranteed get that 10th charge by the end of this fight. So it's just like really good to ramp up on this first fight. It makes the rest of the paths so much easier. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, this is the best path for the 10-year challenge with Sentry. He takes Sauron. I just found out, like, by doing the fight, that he can take Hitmonkey as well. He can actually solo that one somehow. So he does Hitmonkey, he does Chavez, he does Airwalker, Psycho Man, Wiccan, Captain Britain, he does the Tigra path. So yeah, once you like beat the first path, go on to the Tigra path. He can solo Tigra, he can solo Mcoc, he can solo Hercules. That one's a bit like hard to do, especially by himself, but it is doable. He can solo Sam Wilson, Nova, Dragon Man, and who else is on that path? And right, Captain America Infinity War. So yeah, he can do all 14 fights in the Necropolis path. He can also do Grandmaster, but you want to have Wiccan on your side for that like final phase, because man, it's tough without him. So yeah, you can just straight up solo Necropolis with Sentry for that 10-year challenge if you want to use him. I think he's a great option. He can do it in 1 revive, because all the other fights outside of Sauron are solos. So yeah, once you're ramped up, you know how to do like the other fights, because I've posted about those fights a lot. I have like 4 Sentry videos to my name right now, so you know what to do. Check out those videos and it'll show you how to solo those fights once you're at 10 plus charges. And speaking of 10 plus charges, here is charge number 9 coming right up. We drop the heavy attack one more time, and a quick little tip, dropping the SP1 at 19 charges will actually give you the 20th charge, because you will inflict a halt debuff on activation, and that gives you a bulwark buff, which will turn into 20, and then you go into the next form. So yeah, just like a quick little tip there, very small, but it's an important one. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Now we're at 20 charges here, so I enter the next form, and now it's the medium attack form, going back to doing medium and light attacks. And the damage output is very good right now, like 41,000 mediums, very good damage. Like what, 26,000 light attacks, very good damage obviously. There I dropped the SP1, didn't quite have enough charges, but that's okay, because I am like pretty much right at the SP1 again. So I go for the relic into the SP1, into the heavy attack first, just to maintain those debuffs. And yeah, now we're at the heavy attack form. So now I can just like pretty much do heavy attacks only, because the damage output is insane. And don't forget that winning a fight grants you a persistent charge. So once you're at 9 charges in this fight, you have the option to just like spam heavy attacks to end the fight, or if you want to be like, you know, a bit silly, you can drop a special attack to get that 10th charge in this fight before you KO him, right? Now my recommendation is to go for the like safe play, which is just spamming heavy attacks and gaining the 10th charge after winning the fight. However, for this video, I thought, let's just go for it. And this will come back to haunt me later on in the video, but you're gonna see, because it's very soon when it happens. But yeah, I should have played it safe, man. I did not play this fight safe at all, but in the end I got the solo. Well, I got like, you know, the finishing touches of this fight done. And yeah, 1 revive for this Sauron fight, and the rest of the fights you can solo with Sentry. Keep that in mind. 1 revive for this Sauron is not bad when you think about the fact that he can solo all the other fights at 10 charges. That's what makes this like so, it just makes it so beneficial, right? It just makes it so like worth the 1 revive. And guys, don't be flashy. Like there I enter the heavy attack phase, that's cool, but just just bait out the SP1. Just do it, because now I'm in the situation where, like, if he drops the SP2, he's going to go unblockable, and that's going to be very dangerous, so I can't let him drop it, but now he's going to be unblockable just like anyway, so now I'm very scared. So here I just try to play it as safe as possible, go for the SP2, and there you go, fight's done. And now we are at 10 charges for the remainder of Necropolis. Keep in mind, every time you don't solo a fight, you lose 1 charge, but you will be down to 9 charges, so it's very easy to get back to that 10th charge because it's just 1 rotation. And yeah, 10 charges, get ready to just destroy the Necropolis. But yeah, I hope this video helps. I hope that, like, you know, you can learn from it and even try to do the 10-year challenge with Sentry. It's a very fun time, and yeah, just take my word for it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this video. I hope it was helpful, and yeah, that's about it for me.